Bonjour, mes amis, bienvenue. Hey, friends, and welcome back to the Language Tutor French series. I'm Danny Evans, and I have a really cool lesson for today. You know, so far we've learned the present tense in French, we've learned the past tense, the passé con passé, something has happened. Well, over the next few lessons, I want to bring you some new tenses, and that's what I want to do in this lesson is the imperfect tense, because we use the imperfect in conversations all the time. And so I think it's really a great idea to understand it. So here we go, guys. Let's jump right in to the imperfect tense. Now, I first want to just tell you what the imperfect tense is, okay? Now, the imperfect tense, it happened in the past, just like the passé con passé. When I say I ate or she worked, those kinds of things, those happened in the past. It's done and it's over with. And we use the passé con passé, which is, saying the verb avoir, and then you're putting it with the past participle. And in some cases, être in the past participle. This is going to be different. I want to explain the difference between what we've already learned and what we're learning now. Before, when we did the past tense, like I said, it was done, over with. It happened, done, over with. This is a little different in the imperfect tense because this has a different connotation. It still happened in the past, but this is different. And here are some things I want to show you about this. Now, look here. First of all, the imperfect in French is called l'imparfait. L'imparfait, the imperfect, okay? Now, the imperfect, l'imparfait, describes past actions, ongoing actions, okay, repeated actions, and anytime you would say used to do something. Like we use in English, we say used to do something. We use the imperfect tense to say that in French, and in some cases would. Now, we will get to conditional tense later, but these are the situations that we could use the imperfect in French. Now, again, look at this. It's ongoing, it's repeated, okay? So that's the difference. This is something in the past that just was continuous, okay? I give an example. If I say, I lived in France during my childhood, that would be imperfect because it was ongoing in the past. It wasn't, I didn't specify a specific time period. It was just ongoing. All right. If I were to say this, I used to work there. I used to work there. Now, see, that was ongoing. It was habitual. It was repeated. That could be the imperfect as well. Now, also, I want to show you this. When you have ing and a was or were in the past like this, we were talking. Now, see, that was something ongoing. Some people call this the past progressive. The present progressive is doing something now in English. She is talking. Okay, but then the past progressive is she was talking or we were talking. That was ongoing. Now, we want to say an ing like this in the past tense. We can use imperfect for that as well. All right. Now, to show you how we do this, let's put up the chart. Now, first of all, I want to tell you that we have to get a root form. In just a second, we're going to put some endings on this verb, okay? And those endings are going to make it imperfect. But first of all, we can't just do what we normally do and take this off and add an ending. We have to get the right root word. And for this root, we're going to use the nous form up in the top right. That's where we put everything that has to do with us, we. We're going to use that root, okay? So we take that verb that we would normally put up there in that top right section, and we're going to use that root, and we're going to put an ending on it, okay? So I want to just give you an example of how we can do that, but I first really just want to give you the endings because I think once you know the endings and then we see it in context, you can start putting this together very easily. All right. So let's get the endings. First of all, the ending up here in the top left is going to be AIS, eh. Okay. And then the du form is going to be the same thing. A lot of times they share the same kind of endings, right? So it's going to be AIS just like that top version. Now, the bottom left, the il, elle, and on form is going to be AIT, which should be no surprise to you based on what we've learned in the past. Up in the top right, the nous ending is going to be ion, which is IONS. Now, based on that, you may be able to guess what the vous form is. It is yeah, IEZ. All right, and now that leaves us with one more. It's going to be like the other ones kind of, but we'll put that E and T on it. It's AIENT. Okay, now that we have an example, I want to use the verb finir. Finir, to finish. I want to use this one as an example of how we put it into the imperfect. Now, typically, we would take that nous ending up there in the present tense would be finissons, right? I won't spell it out, it's too long, but finissons ending in ONS. But what we want to do is take that root up there and we want to add this ending to it, IONS. Okay, so let's do each one of these conjugations. First of all, the je form, we're going to take that root and it would be finissait. Finissait. That would be the root of nous in the present, and we would put the ending on it. Okay, so we're just kind of manipulating that nous form. Not a big deal. Now the tu form is going to be the same thing. It's got the same ending on it, everything. So it still ends in AIS. In the bottom left, the il, elle, and on form, we're putting that AIT on it. And then, as we said, we're going to go up there and put the ending on the nous form, which would be IONS, nous finissions. Okay, and then the vous form, same thing, put the IEZ on it. And then we have the vous finissiez. And then we have the il and elle form, which we're putting AIENT. So that's all we had to do, my friends, is we took the nous form, we took off that normal ending in the present tense, and we applied a new set of endings, and that became our root for each one of these. And so now we have finir in the imperfect tense. So this means I used to finish, I was finishing, I finished in an ongoing way in the past. I mean, it's all the same. Either way, it was ongoing. Now, I want to show you the verb être. Être is not going to use, we always got to have a troublemaker, right? So we know that nous in the present tense is nous sommes. It's actually going to use its infinitive root, et. So we put et, and then we put the ending on it. So this is what the être form will look like. Était, était, il, elle, on, était, and nous étions, vous étiez, and ils étaient, and elles étaient. All right, and so that becomes our imperfect form of être, to be. All right, just keep that in mind. It's a little different, but typically we can just take that nous root, put the ending on it, and there you go. Let's do some examples now. Now that we have our basics down, let's do some examples. I want to use 3 sentences. Here's a sentence to just kind of demonstrate what we're talking about in the imperfect. When I was young, I liked French food. I'm not sure that was true for me, but hey, we'll use it as an example. So I don't think I knew what French food was back then, but when I was young, I liked French food. Now this is cool because we have 2 imperfect verbs in the same sentence. When I was young, was is imperfect because that was ongoing. And I liked, that's imperfect because that was ongoing. Okay, so let's put this whole thing into the imperfect. We have this. Quand j'étais jeune, jamais la cuisine française. Okay, I'll say that again. Quand j'étais jeune, j'aimais la cuisine française. There you go. 2 imperfect verbs in 1. All right, let's do another example. She used to work at the school. She used to work at the school. So we take travailler, to work. We put that nous root that we would normally use in the present tense, and we just simply put a new ending on it, and we get this. Elle travaillait à l'école. Elle travaillait à l'école. All right. Now here's one. This one is going to mix the imperfect with the preterite, or the passé con passé. All right, what we learned before. So watch this. This is interesting because you're going to have a lot of sentences that mix those two past tense forms. So we were cooking dinner when they arrived. All right, we were cooking. An ing in the past with was or were. Ing in the past is going to be imperfect. Okay, so we were doing that. That was ongoing when they arrived. Now they arrived. It happened overdone. It was over and done with, right? So that is the other passé con passé, the other form that we learned before, how to say it in the past. So here's what we would get in French. We put on the, to prepare, we put the imperfect ending, which would be this. Nous préparions le dîner quand ils sont arrivés. Remember, arrivé is one of those that uses être to say the past. So once again, nous préparions le dîner quand ils sont arrivés. All right. Now, mes amis, that is how we do the imperfect tense. So you guys can do this. Just practice it. You can knock it out. You got it down. It's easy. Just learn that set of endings and you got it. Well, mes amis, I hope you will come and visit us at our Teespring shop and support our channel by purchasing a Language Tutor hoodie or a shirt or a coffee cup or something like that. And they make good gifts too as well. And also definitely come by and check out the Language Tutor French podcast. Currently working on getting new episodes on there as soon as we can, but you can practice while you're on the go. Well, mes amis, I wish for you paix et bénédiction, peace and blessings, and I'll see you on the next episode. Au revoir. Friends, thanks for watching the Language Tutor. If you have a question for me, feel free to leave it in the comment section below the video. And please click subscribe and the notification bell so that you'll never miss any of our language lessons.